Hey everyone, it's me, it's Rodless, and I'm going to do a review for a buddy of mine asked me to do an all Grimlock review. So I only have 4 Grimlocks, but I'm going to do the best I can. And we're going to go in the order from, I guess I would say, my least favorite to my most favorite. And we're going to go ahead and start. All right. So back in, mid-2000s, there was classics, Transformers classics, sort of redos of iconic characters. There was Bumblebee, Rodimus, Optimus, Megatron as a gun for the first and I don't know the last time probably. We won't see Megatron as a gun for much long, in the States anyway. But anyway, so yeah, this is Classics Grimlock. I'm not going to do a transformation video because quite frankly 2 of these are ridiculously difficult to transform, so I'm just going to go ahead and we're just going to go over Grimlock. So Grimlock has a firing missile up top, this gunblade type thing. It comes right off for transformation. As you can see, they're a little dusty. These have been in storage for, I don't know, 4 or 5 years now. Yeah, so Grimlock has kind of a weird transformation. In the past, it's always been the head folds back, and this one, the head is the feet. Which we'll take a look at a little bit later. But yeah, Classic Grimlock had the rub sign gimmick. I don't know how well this is going to come up on camera, but if you can see, focus. Okay, focus is not working. But anyway, yeah, the rub sign gimmick was pretty cool. It came in I think the first wave, maybe the second wave too, of the Transformers Classics lines. Later became Generations and Universe and all that good stuff. But yeah, pretty cool. Grimlock comes with 2 weapons, and I'll go over them a little bit later after I go over all the after in the other modes. So yeah, Transformers Classic Grimlock, moving hands, kind of wonky hands, no bends at the elbows there. His mouth is articulated, so articulated knees and I guess ankles. That's actually pretty cool, and that's there for transformation. And we'll take a look at that, like I said, a little bit later. The tail is actually hinged at the tip at 1, 2, 3, 4 points of articulation right there in the tail, and the tail later on becomes a sort of a sword, I guess, for Grimlock. But yeah, kind of articulation here at the dino hips, dino waist, I guess. I don't know. The part that becomes his waist in robot mode. Legs really don't stay on all that secure. As you can see, they kind of flip-flop around a little bit, but not a bad overall Grimlock. Probably didn't get as much love as he should have, but I was a fan. You can see the light piping is really, really excellent. Look at those eyes. Beautiful, right? Okay, so moving on. Let's go over to probably what's a lot of people's favorite, but as far as I have, as far as the ones that I have, probably my second favorite, or third favorite. But yeah, let's go on. And this is my original G1 Grimlock. It's got rust marks. The rub sign kind of works, I think. Yeah. I got this. I didn't get it as a kid from my parents. I bought it when I was a teenager at a flea market, along with a couple others. But yeah, this one's been sitting in my display case. It is dusty too. It could use a good cleaning, but and I just ordered new labels for it from Repro Labels. Because he is missing quite a bit, and eventually I'll get repros of the guns and the swords and all that. I just didn't have it for this review, but yeah, again, common thread. Grimlock's mouth opens. Okay, Grimlock, out of here. Okay, so Grimlock's mouth opens. The party hands. Typical G1 type articulation, kind of none really. But yeah, it's kind of loose. Probably tighten it up with those screws right there. Maybe even replace them at some point. But yeah, it's G1, probably number 3, 3 of the 4 that I have here as far as favorites go. But yeah, G1 Grimlock Classic. It is very worn, no more chrome, but lots of love for this Grimlock. All right, now I'm probably gonna take a lot of heat for this, okay? But I do love this mold, and I would say it's probably not my number 2 favorite mold of the 4 that I own, we'll go with a 1A. Okay, a 1A, not a bad deal. And that's this bad boy. And let's see if I can get him in frame here, because Grimlock is big. All right, so we have Masterpiece. This is the Hasbro version of Masterpiece Grimlock. This one's actually never been transformed before, so I'm going to transform him just for this review. And it's awesome. It is a very accurate representation of what Grimlock looked like in the cartoon versus the old Transformers toy. And we're going to go over a lot of the articulation. He's got big dinosaur feet for stomping, and he's got a blowtorch in his mouth, got a gimmick where he could change the color of his eyes from the cartoon to the toy colors up here. Really cool. Yeah, I really do like this tail butt wiggling action. Butt licking action. Got elbows and ball joints and all that good stuff. Teeth aren't as sharp. But yeah, a beautiful toy nonetheless. And like I said, not my second favorite, but definitely a 1A kind of thing. With the next one. And the next one, there's no secret that my favorite toy line of all the Transformers was alternators. So let's look at alternators Grimlock. I'm bringing the camera down a little bit so we can get this one in frame, so I don't have to lift it. But alternators Grimlock. Yeah, that's a Grimlock. That is a beautiful Grimlock. Alternators, like I said, one of my all-time favorite lines. This is one of my favorite molds. I've repainted this mold myself over a dozen times. So yeah, I have a lot of love for this mold. Look at it thing. Mustang. I believe it's like early 2000s, 2002, 2004 body style Mustang. It's a GT. If you see the license plate, it does say Grimlock on there with an Autobot symbol. Yeah, alternators were awesome. Look, they got the opening doors. The trunk opens up. Not a whole lot of trunk room, but it is a Mustang. Weird. I don't know if that was standard issue. Weird orange seats, but pretty cool nonetheless. If you open it up, the hood does open up, and you can see that there is an engine inside there. And that engine is actually Grimlock's gun. You can pop it out, flip these things out, and then flip the handle out, and it does become Grimlock's gun. And we'll take a look at that a little bit later. No focus. Too many things to look at. Too much to look at. All right, anyway, it does have a pony logo right there, which you can probably see now. But yeah, we'll take a look at that a little bit later. This Transformer is notoriously hard to get into vehicle mode. The arm body joints, it took me 15 minutes just to get the arms in place. It's no joke. And I watched a review. But yeah, it rolls kind of well. He does have his typical Grimlock sword. It does stow underneath here. But yeah, this is probably my favorite Grimlock mold because Mustangs are my favorite vehicles, my favorite cars. And when I saw this, I had to have it. I think this was probably the second or third one I bought. Sideswipe was first. I would say Smokescreen was second, and I think this one was my third. At this point, I have every alternator, and I think I actually have them in triplicate. Just over the years, I've acquired lots for very cheap, and yeah, this is one of my favorites. One day I'll go over all my repaints, and we'll talk about these a little bit more. But yeah, I'm going to take a minute. I'm going to pause the camera here, transform these guys, and then we'll go over these one more time. Okay, cool. Look at that car. That is beautiful. All right, we'll be back after these messages.
We now return to the Transformers.
Okay, and we're back. It took a minute to transform all of these, and tell you what, they look great. I think my second favorite, the Masterpiece Grimlock, is probably my favorite now. Transformation is nice, it's smooth, it's easy, and it's a lot like the original. And we'll just go over we'll compare and contrast. These are always pretty cool. So tell your dad to buy you some. These are cool. But anyway, yeah, so here is Classics Grimlock. Oh, can't see his face. There we go. There you go. Beautiful light piping. You can see the light coming in through the eyes there. Beautiful looking light piping. The figure itself, it's okay. It's not the greatest. Here's the gun sword that was on his back. Now you can use it in his hand. Here's his tail. which I said before, becomes a sort of a sword, knife, gun thing. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Okay, so here he is. He's kind of a floppy mess. The joints really don't stay all that well, but it's a very weird looking Grimlock. Really, it's not your typical look for Grimlock. Some of the chest is gold like all the others, you know, but it's nice. It's expensive now, so I don't know, but it's nice. I don't mind it too bad. The light piping is beautiful. Look at those eyes. Look at them eyes. Beautiful, beautiful light piping. So yeah, let's go right ahead and we'll look at Generation 1, the original King Dinobot himself. Here he is, Grimlock. And it's hard to get Grimlock's face in any of these shots because his head is way far back. Like that. From his chest. That's kind of weird. But it's cool nonetheless. This toy is, I don't know, what, 1986, 87? And it's every bit of that. So you see just no elbows, no wrists. He's got knees, right? But he can't move his legs forward or backwards. No ankle pivot. And mine doesn't stand up all that well, I'm being completely honest with you. This is old. It's very old. But anyway, that's Generation 1 Grimlock. Missing stickers, and I'll replace those stickers here in a couple months, a couple weeks, once I get back from vacation. But yeah, Masterpiece Grimlock. All right. So we're going to go to what I said before was one of my favorites, and we're going to go to Alternators Grimlock. Bring the camera up again. These toys are just getting progressively taller and taller. So yeah, Alternators Grimlock. The face is most definitely Grimlock. So it's got a gold mouth, but still definitely Grimlock. Yeah, here's what I said. The engine turns into the gun. Get that out of there. Engine turned into the gun, and here is his sword. Orange, should be red, but it's orange. Not a bad deal. They all have, the sword and the gun have little pegs on them that do, oh man, this camera cannot focus at all. A hard time focusing. Oh well. It's got a peg on there. Pegs to the insides of the hands. The hands swivel. It's got 4 articulated fingers. The thumb doesn't move. Wrist rotation. Ball joint at the elbow. Up and down here at the, I guess, bicep. Forward at the shoulders there. Ball joints at the hips. The knees do bend pretty good. Even better if you take out the that panel right there for a transformation. Ankles, pretty good. You can get some pivot out of there, so you get him some pretty good action poses. He is kind of blocky and wearing a skirt, but don't tell Grimlock that's a skirt, but it's a skirt. But yeah, that's Alternators Grimlock. I'm a huge fan of this. You see the Mustang logo up there, nice and shiny. Beautiful mold, beautiful mold. As long as you're not looking from the side, it's a great mold, because if you look at it from the side, there's nothing there. Grimlock is skinny from the side. But yeah, and now let's take a look at, well, it's called Masterpiece Grimlock, and it's a masterpiece. So let's put that Grimlock back there. Let's put G1 Grimlock over here. And let's bring out Masterpiece Grimlock. Most of it. And there he is. I'll move the camera back here in a little bit so we can get a good shot of Masterpiece Grimlock. So, shiny gold goodness. This is a beautiful action figure. The transformation really is not all that different from the original G1. Here is, let's bring the G1 back here. It's not all that different. You can see that it's very, very similar. I have the arms folded down, but you could fold them up to make them look exactly like that. I'll do that right now. Boom, 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 boom. There you go. Just like the original. Grimlock has wings. He's got the thrusters to make him fly, because Grimlock can fly. The head can just tilt all the way back. Oh, the head gimmick pops out. Yeah. Beautiful figure. Beautiful figure. Again, well, He's got a little switch in the back that you can turn his eyes blue or red if you want him to look like the toy or the cartoon. The toy was red, cartoon was blue. But yeah, I like red. I like red. It looks really badass red. Yeah, so this hand here, articulated at the thumb, the index finger, and then the 3 fingers underneath are one joint. Big, I love the legs. Big, chunky legs. So he could stand. Pretty good, decent knees, but this one is very tight, and I don't want to break it because it's a very expensive figure. But yeah, it's got some ankle pivot, so that's cool. More dynamic poses. This guy's gonna go back in my display case here as soon as this review is done because it is a thing of beauty. Yeah, so he's got a couple gimmicks. This hand doesn't move at all. The thumb moves, but that's about it. In that hand, I don't know if it works anymore, but you take Grimlock's sword, and it's supposed to light up. And let's see if it still does that, because I have not messed with it. And the button is somewhere. And there it is. You really can't see it because of the lamp, but it does light up. And that's pretty decent, He comes with his gun too, and the gun can be held in either hand. You can put it in this hand here. Doesn't really hold well in that hand, but you can put it in this hand here too. And it does light up also, but not all that great. Just pew, 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 pew. And Grimlock, Grimlock King. What would a king be without his crown? This is the Hasbro Toys R Us version, and he came with Grimlock's crown, and it doesn't really fit. Oh, I have it put on backwards. It does fit if you put it on the right way. So yeah, there is Grimlock with his crown, because him Grimlock, him king, right? Great figure. Aiden, if you're watching, tell your dad to buy this one for you, because you deserve it. Tell him Christmas is coming, and that you deserve Masterpiece Grimlock. Okay? Alright guys, well that's it. That's all the Grimlock love that we're gonna have today. That's all the ones I have. You know, maybe I'll pick up a few more. Grimlock is a great character after all. That Masterpiece, that's Alternator's one, is so badass. So bad. I love it. And in classics, of course, not the greatest, but definitely not the worst. Grimlock we've seen. There is one worse out there, and I don't have it, so that's okay. And that's it. I took up a lot of time there, about 20 minutes. Hope you guys enjoy. Yeah, see you guys later. If you guys have any requests, let me know. I got tons and tons and tons of Transformers upstairs, and I can do maybe a Wheeljack review next. All right, guys, thanks for watching, and I'm out of here.